Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
I am Pastor Nick.
Pastor Freddie.
Welcome to Wee Wednesday.
Yes.
Oh, I just realized my laptop's low on power. Hope we don't run out here. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is on their fast, enjoying their fast, spending time with God, hearing from God, getting wisdom from God. Remember, we did the first part. We sowed our seed. That was the first part with expectation. Now we're fasting and we're praying and we're hearing from the Lord on exactly what to do, exactly which way to turn, exactly which way to go. That's what it's all about. It's really all about, getting that wisdom. So today on Wee Wednesday, we want to journey down a little bit of a different path. We're kind of always pretty positive about everything. But today what we want to talk about are some of the small habits in marriage that we not that we create. Sometimes we fall into these habits and we don't even know. So today we want to talk about small habits that quietly destroy the marriage. What slowly breaks when one felt that what slowly breaks what once felt strong? What slowly breaks what once felt strong? I think what we got to realize is marriages don't fall apart overnight. I think that's really the key. Everybody thinks it's one event or one thing that happens, and then marriages get bad or they sour. What really happens is it's usually not a single moment. It's usually not a single event that causes everything to break. Instead, marriages are often worn down. Small, repeatable habits that seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they create distance, they create frustration, and most importantly, they create distraction, right? And it's not only
Disconnections too.
What's that?
Disconnections.
Yeah, disconnect. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? You become disconnected with your partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not always the big thing that destroys the marriage, right? It's, again, little things that those consistent things that we do that disconnect us and keep us disconnected.
Small foxes.
Right. So, well,
Destroy
W. Clement Stone used to say, big doors swing on small hinges. So the little small habits that you do every day consistently can make you successful. And the bad things that you do that are small every day can destroy you. So what today we want to do is expose a few of those habits, not to condemn you, but to bring awareness. A lot of this stuff you've heard before, but I want you to hear it again. I want you to think about it, because one thing that I want you to do is identify where maybe one area that we talk about today that is an area that you struggle with in your marriage, not that your husband struggles with or your wife struggles with, that you struggle with, that you can correct. Okay? So point one today, and I always think it's the most valuable point, lack of communication.
Right.
We literally have people that we've counseled before that silence is their weapon. I mean, not communicating is their weapon of choice. They don't yell. They don't scream. They don't cuss nobody out. They just decide they're not going to communicate. I don't want to talk about it right now, right? And one of the most dangerous habits in marriage is not talking about what matters.
I think what happens, and you're right, but I think why people stop talking, because they never can come to
Nina, go in the room. We'll be out in a minute. No, Nina, go in the room. Go in the room, baby. Go back to bed. We'll be in there in a minute. It's our little Nina. Nina, go in the room, honey.
Let me tell you, they never can go.
Go in the room. Thank you.
They
go ahead. We're talking about communication.
Yeah, I was saying that they never get to a place of understanding,
right,
or a conclusion.
Right.
So that's why it's hard, I think, for people to communicate, and why they resort to silence. And you have to find a way. You may need a mediator. You may need to go to counseling.
Right.
And I understand a lot of times the partner doesn't want to go to counseling.
Right. Yeah. So instead of communicating, couples generally begin to assume. Mm-hmm. When there's no communication, when there's lack of communication, people are going to make things up, right? They should know how I feel. They say things like that.
Right.
They ought to know that's a problem for me. It's not even worth talking about again. Yeah, it is. It's eating you up inside. Of course it is. I'll just deal with it. Oh, don't. I've had people. Oh, don't worry about it, Pastor. I'll just deal with it. Silence doesn't solve problems, folks. Write that down. Somebody put that in the chat. Silence doesn't solve problems. What it does is it stores them.
Right.
It stores them, and they bubble to the top, and they come up at a different time in a different place. In Proverbs 18:13, it says,
"He who answers a matter before he hears it, it is folly and shame to him."
right?
He who answers a matter before he hears it is folly and shame to him.
Yeah, and James 1:19 says,
"Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath."
let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Healthy marriages talk things through.
And they're patient.
Right?
It takes patience.
Unhealthy marriages let things pile up.
All right.
So that's your
Give
question. Write that down for point number 1. Are you talking things through with your spouse, or are you letting things pile up? Are you talking things through, or are you letting them pile up? And that leads to point number 2. Write this down. Letting offenses linger. Letting offenses linger. Small offenses that go unresolved turn into big walls. It can be as simple as something like take out the trash.
Yeah.
It could, my wife was going through a healing the other day, just yesterday, I think. Hey, the trash is over there. I went and took it out. What if I wouldn't have? That could have been, man, he don't care about me. He knows I don't feel good. He knows the trash is there. Why didn't he take? And she don't have to say it, but she starts thinking that. That becomes a very small offense. It starts with the minor things. It could be a tone. It could be a comment.
Same comment all the time. You never.
Right.
You always. Never use those words.
Right. A moment of frustration. Right. But if it isn't addressed, it grows into frustration. It grows into offense. Yes. It grows into bitterness. That's a good one. Or watch this, a hardened heart. A hardened heart. Yeah. Ephesians 4:26 and 27 says,
"Be angry, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your wrath, nor give place to the devil." Right there's telling you need to deal with it.
Right.
When offenses lingers, distance increases.
Right.
Warmth decreases.
Warmth, yeah.
Which is intimacy.
Right.
Assumptions multiply.
Right.
It's just an ugly place.
Right. And forgiveness is not optional in marriage. It's essential. We got to remember that.
Oh, I love that. Wait, forgiveness.
Write that down. Forgiveness is not optional in marriage.
It's essential.
It's essential.
And you don't always have to respect someone to forgive someone.
Right.
When you respect God,
right,
you will forgive.
Right. Right. Point number 3 for today. Taking each other for granted. That's a big one, right? Familiarity. This happens in church with pastors. It happens with parents. So parents become their adult children's friends instead of being their parent. That breeds familiarity. That breeds disrespect. People become their pastors' buddies or think they're equal to their pastors or somehow can teach their pastors something. That breeds familiarity. Same thing happens in the marriage. Same thing happens in the marriage. When you take your wife for granted and you just become, she's going to do this, she's going to do that. That becomes really, really deadly, right? Again, familiarity can quietly turn into neglect. You stop doing the things you should do. You stop honoring your parents. You stop honoring your pastors. And then in marriage, how does it work? You stop expressing appreciation. You stop being intentional. You stop noticing each other. You know how important it is that a husband notices his wife?
And the wife notice her husband.
Right. Not just notice her every time she doesn't do her hair or every time she doesn't do this or right. Notice her when she looks beautiful. She looks beautiful today. Man, honey, that outfit really looks nice.
Yes.
Man, honey, you did a great job on that report. Man, that was awesome. Honey, it's great that, and wives, vice versa with the wives. You're always nagging about what's not being paid. Why not talk about what has been? We've been living in the same house for 5 years. We haven't been evicted. We haven't had to move. You know how many times Pastor Franny had to move because she was evicted? I mean, that's a blessing. What was once valued in marriage without this becomes expected, right? Solomon in Song of Solomon 2:15 says,
catch us, the foxes, the little foxes that spoils the vines.
Right.
For our vines have tender grapes.
Right. It's the little foxes, right?
Right.
That's what we
Just
got to
like
think
saying
about,
earlier,
right?
yeah.
The small unchecked habits, right?
Yeah.
That spoil something beautiful. We got to think about that. And lastly, and I think the most important one, besides communication, then there's this one. And I don't think it's 1 and 2. I think it's 1 and 1A, is financial disconnection.
Yeah.
Financial disconnection. Money itself isn't the issue. Misalignment is. Write that down. Money itself isn't the issue. Misalignment is. When couples stop communicating about finances. You take care of your money, I'm going to take care of mine. No. Stress builds, right? Trust weakens. There's nothing that kills trust more than not being transparent with your finances. Nothing. What do you mean, Pastor? I said it. Jesus said, if you can't handle money, you can't handle the true anointing of God. If Jesus said that, if God said that, how important do you think money is in a marriage? Tensions increase, but the main thing is that trust is corroded. In Matthew 6:21, it says what?
For where your treasure is, there will your heart be. There will your heart be also.
For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Money reveals
where your heart is.
It reveals what matters.
It
reveals what matters. Write this down. Unity in finances protects our marriages. Unity in finances, it protects unity in marriages.
It brings a whole nother level of trust, I think.
Right.
Finances.
Yeah.
When you have your finances in order together.
So again, remember for today, strong marriages aren't destroyed by one big decision, right?
Nope.
They are slowly weakened by small, repeated habits.
But the good news is this. If small habits can destroy a marriage, then small intentional habits can restore and strengthen it as well.
That's right. The right actions can reverse all the bad actions that you made, right? So this week, as you're fasting, if you're married, do this. Have an honest conversation, right? Have an honest conversation with yourself first. Have an honest conversation with God first. Remember, we're fasting about wisdom, right? Then go to your partner. If there's something that's lingering, try to resolve one thing. Show intentional appreciation. And most importantly, the thing that we talked about, align those finances. Get those finances aligned, right? Write this down. It's not the big mistakes that destroy most marriages. It's the small ones left unchecked. That's the key from today. It's not the big decisions that destroy marriages or that will destroy your marriages. It's the small habits that we leave unchecked. Amen? Listen, we hope you've enjoyed this today. We finished a minute early, so you can go spend a little bit of time in prayer and fasting. We love you guys. I'm excited about church tonight. Church has been awesome. Everybody get out to church. We'll see you tonight. Until then, Pastor Nick, Pastor Franny saying, enjoy life.